Welcome to Dungeon Fire Hobbies. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Nicole.
In this series, we have a veteran Minecraft player teaching someone new to the game.
So let's go build our town.
But yeah, so I had fun making that little encounter. Obviously, you ran the Icewind Dale campaign we did a ways back, and I played Olin in that campaign. These guys are heavily inspired by that kind of story, the idea of somebody who is, in his case, also created by an old one. My thought is basically Olin was the template, and Orazoth has since refined the process and refined the how she wants to do it, because obviously there aren't a lot of just empty humanoid bodies laying around that she could put a consciousness inside of.
Not conveniently, like poor Olin there.
Yeah. So you know, more larger steps had to be taken, and they're expensive. So like these things are these are not combatants. Like they can't really, like they have a little bit of magic and a little bit of capability of defending themselves, but like if First had been aggressive, or if you had been aggressive towards First, they would not have lasted very long. They would have gone down pretty darn hard. They were no match for your party, or even any one of you. They are not like combat characters. Which is why they would need players to do a lot of the heavy lifting for them.
Yeah, well, that's good design. It encourages interconnections, and I think it turned out well. The rewards were nice.
Yeah, most of the stuff got used too. I mean, I don't think all your potions got used, or even close to it. You had a lot of healing potions at the end still.
Well, we had a cleric for a change,
Yep.
which was nice.
There was a cleric. And honestly, I had to make some cuts to the encounters because of time. And so there was an entire combat counter that got cut out. It wasn't that important for story or anything, so I didn't really feel bad cutting it. But it would have made the river of glass that you encountered a little bit more interesting, because having to fight along, like, on the river would have been more exciting, because I did in fact...
that's where you placed that encounter. Okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I did have ideas on, I knew exactly what would happen if you fell off, slipped off one of the shards or fell into the river. It wouldn't have been immediately harmful. It would have just been very disorienting, because it's basically a loop. The whole river was a series of loops. If you fall in the river, you fall down through the ceiling. And because you're over river, you then fall into the river again, which drops, and then you loop up through the ceiling and fall through the ceiling again. And you just keep falling until something stopped you. Either somebody grabbed you and pulled you to safety, or you figured out a way to break your cycle. And meanwhile, the demons that you would have been fighting at the same time were stuck in a time loop, so they, if you destroyed them, would just come back and fly in and re-engage the fight. So, and I was going to make it very clear, they're literally the same demons. So you destroy one, and I think you'd figure out pretty quickly, this is endless, and probably make your escape. And that would work, because they couldn't follow, they're stuck.
I really liked some of your, there's a lot of flavor behind each design, but without adding too much complexity, which was nice. So, even that, kind of what you're describing, is I like how you put extra thought in it. It wasn't like, oh, there's just some demons. No, you had, different elements to figure out. You've done a lot of, mental work with the encounters, which has been nice.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that there were some things that were just basic combat, but it's a one-shot. There's not a lot of time for doing a whole lot of just boring fights. So, I had the tentacles as kind of my boring fight. And then from there, I wanted to make sure... from there, I wanted to make sure everything else had at least something going on with it that was a little bit, at least somewhat interesting. So the river had the loops, the Mojang, the weird aberration, had the illusion of the drow that it used to fake you guys out, and was going to try and lure you into a position of vulnerability so that it could ambush you and get at your squishies, because that's more what it wanted. Is it wanted to get at your unarmored people, but you didn't give it the chance, and then you kind of braced up and circled the wagons, so it just had to make a move because it was desperate. Poor starving Mojang.
I feel no sympathy. Pretty sure that was one of the things that also crit me.
Yes, it was.
Alright, what's the next step in this roof process?
The front we're going to have to close in, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. This staircasey bit I'm going to have to
take out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will probably have to put something back in pretty soon, because we actually need to be able to get up there. But here, let me I'm gonna just make a pillar. Let's straighten out the pieces here so everything aligns properly.
So we did the tentacles, the memory merchant trader, the invisible anglerfish thing.
Yep. Mojang.
And
was
then I think it was just the final combat at the end, which was fantastic. So you got to talk about your design for having a puzzle as your boss battle.
So yeah, I went into this knowing from the very beginning that the set piece big thing I wanted to do was a combination of solving some kind of puzzle / skill challenge kind of thing combined with a combat, have both simultaneous. And I wanted it not to be about the combat so much. I wanted it to be more about solving the puzzle, but the combat, of course, framed that puzzle and had to be navigated as a result. So what I did is, here, let me give you the next step so you know what you can be working on.
Thank you.
We need to get under here again. That's not the best entry place.
I think there was another place we had, though, over here, right?
Yeah, we can just use that. That's perfect. So what we need to do is this wall here, we basically need to bring this up with blocks all the way up to block in this section so that there's this, basically so the roof has a front to the facing.
Okay, I can work on that.
And then this can just be some stairs here.
Oh.
So yeah, if you could fill that in, that would be great.
I'm gonna go make some stuff for it real quick.
And if you need more dark oak, I have a bunch.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
So you had a giant puzzle, but it was a living spell. I really did like that. I think I interacted with. I did more social interaction with this combat than I did fighting. But if we left all the fighting to our cleric.
Yep.
And,
like you do.
like you do.
Yeah, and it worked out really well because Stone, as the cleric, was able to kind of tank and distract and buy time. Like,
He had so many hit points.
Yeah, he does. He was bizarrely beefy. I watched him roll. It was insane. It's always insane watching him roll his hit points.
He's got the best hit point rolling luck of anyone I know.
Yeah. And then coupled with the fact that he was playing a dwarf and had the tough feat, like, it just got insane. So basically, the boss was, yes, a living spell, basically a abjuration that was like, you know, powerful but also independent and able to act on its own and make its own decisions. It was an idea that I've had for quite a while. It was one of the monsters for my monster manual that I've been working on that I made like first. Like, it was one of the first things I made for it. And it's just an idea that I've had for a while that I've always really enjoyed. I keep messing up the position of these stairs. And I knew that what I wanted out of the fight was that there would be the security system, and the goal would be to override it, to like shut it down, breaking it or bypassing it, or however it is you guys figured out how to solve it.
Asking it nicely, which did work for one of them.
Asking it nicely, yep, and that worked. I had plans for, like, you know, I had loose plans for what would happen if you had failed that, but because I figured you probably wouldn't want to, like, forcibly blow him up because that little rune was sentient. But yeah,
it was?
Yeah.
It was. Interesting.
And it still is. So, like, if we ever pick up, like,
were the other ones?
Nope.
Okay,
just
good.
that one. It was just a weird little quirk. That one rune had basically become awakened.
Well, it's my friend now.
Yep, you got a buddy. And yeah, so there was, you know, there were the series of runes you had to neutralize in whatever way you could think of. You needed to neutralize 6 of the 8, and meanwhile, the big boss monster, the Aegis Animate, the living spell, would be shelling you with things like chain lightnings and stuff. Obviously, I had adjusted the chain lightnings to not be the full strength chain lightning because that would have been a very short battle. But I also forgot its legendary actions, which now it only had one. It only had one legendary action a turn instead of the full 3, but it still was supposed to have legendary actions. So, oops.
No, that's fair. That's actually a design element I'm planning on implementing in the game I'm running for you guys too. Is having monsters at the lower levels with legendary actions that aren't like the full complement of. So, I mean, spoilers. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but
yeah, that's okay. I mean, but yeah, so the Aegis was a piece of a greater whole where the full strength Aegis Animate is something like a CR21 entity, which is why it's slinging around chain lightnings as its basic attack. So obviously I had to make an adjusted version for you to fight for this, because that would not have been an interesting combat.
No.
But it mostly was the same. It's just I lowered a lot of its numbers, and I took away a lot of its spells and spellcasting capability. But yeah, it was fun to run. I enjoyed like running the monsters and like trying to figure out both like how to be challenging, but also like how to play into the stuff you guys were doing, because like, you know, you were using dancing lights to distract the tentacles. Well, the tentacles are borderline mindless, so they're gonna fall for it. Like, it just makes sense.
It fell for it the first time, which was nice. I felt very rewarded in that instance for coming up with what I perceived as, you know, a clever solution. You know, I didn't want it to overpower your design, but I thought at most since we were outnumbered, it could keep a couple of them occupied.
Yeah. And I thought that made total sense and should work. So
was I doing this wrong? I was trying to fill in the roof.
Oh,
You're just gonna leave it?
So we can fill in the roof. I was going to ask what did we want to use for the roof. I hadn't realized we had already started. We could just like put a layer of dark oak down and make that the roof. That would work just fine.
Okay. Actually, I really love the vaulting of this center room, so I might not fill in that part. There's just a stupid question. So we have our like little tower design here. Do we want to bring that all the way down to the first floor, or no? Just leave it kind of.
I think we probably leave it just because, I mean, otherwise we'd have to radically change the layout of this floor. And I think what we do is we pull in a staircase that goes up and goes up to that area and just kind of have, like, in the, you know, above the ceiling here in the rafters area, that we just have access to that tower.
Okay. Well, could we do like a full spiral staircase from this back stair one? Like where we already have the partial? Like if it just keeps going up, well, I guess it would interfere with your bedroom.
Well, we also have this staircase here, which I think if it goes up here, we might be able to loop it in, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good call. Okay. What is the next thing that I can do to help out then?
That is a good question. Let's see. What is the next thing we need to work on? So I think one of the things we'll do is for this vaulted ceiling, we will probably use like stairs and stuff to kind of like bring it down a little bit, like make it not quite so high, but keep the vaulted shape and like maybe smooth it out a bit. So I definitely think we want to keep that shape though.
Okay, but just layer it with stairs?
Yeah, we might layer it with stairs. We might bring it lower if we want, or if you want it to be that like very high roof, we just layer it with stairs and call it done.
I think we just layer it with stairs and call it done. I like the height here. And then, is it okay if I like this portion has that nice vault, but I do like how the walls sort of have an end point here. Is it okay if I keep going and sort of like make the rooms more blocked off?
Yeah, I think the rooms I think we have this section vaulted, and then like, you know, here and on and where the tower is and stuff, we don't. We have the rooms blocked up, and then on top of the rooms is basically where you would stand when you're actually getting into the tower and stuff for that third floor area.
That makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and line the rooms then with the kind of what I'd already started.
Cool.
With the dark oak planks.
And I'm gonna work on some staircasing.
Are you looking forward to this Friday?
Very much so. I am always looking forward to D&D though, you know that.
That's true. Man, it's gonna be so weird having it's just a funny thing of if I hadn't had started running the game we would have had the perfect amount. Because if you'd gotten interested in running and Kyle was gonna run, although to be fair, I don't know that Kyle would be running if I hadn't started a game. So it's just kind of one of those funny things of once one person starts, everybody else starts too. Should I make this more like of a base floor, or do we want to close in the floor that's open at the tower? Like, we don't want to have like drop down, do we?
No, I think we do go ahead and like put a ceiling level on all that.
Okay. So kind of like here. I actually have to prep for this weekend game, or this Friday game. I have most of it, like, obviously, because we were in the middle of the tournament. We didn't really get that far yet. I'm curious to see how far you guys will get now that you're level 2. I don't think I'll be doing the minimum fixed damage anymore. So we'll see.
All the way. All the way.
If you can get through 4 rounds of combat, that's going to be really impressive for you guys. I know Christine really wants to try for it.
Let's see. I can't quite get this to do a spiral staircase that goes all the way up without hitting the ceiling.
Okay.
So let me think on the best way. I think I might just need to do a straight staircase.
Ooh, I think I need more dark oak. Wait,
I got some.
hang on. No, I found some. So we have an attic in our house too. Man, this is getting awesome. I'm gonna come up and explore the attic in a minute. I just want to finish off these ceilings. We can even throw extra storage stuff up here if we wanted to.
And then I kind of figure we'll do like a spiral staircase going up the tower, and then we'll figure out, like, do we want to bring the tower walls down, or do we want to bring the wooden walls up to meet them, or what?
I think in this case it's going to be the wooden up to meet them, just aesthetically. If we leave this part open, because like if we're coming in from the balcony, I don't know necessarily that we want to see the tower. Although I don't know, I'm good either way, Jeff.
Well, we'll probably have to, like, right here put a wall of some sort, so that A, you don't fall off, and B, though I suppose we could put a railing set instead of
a railing.
Yeah,
we could do that. Yeah, it kind of gives this the illusion of like a third story almost.
Yeah.
For the railing, do we want to have it go out one more block the way you do with a balcony? Or no? Will that impact the stairs?
No, it would not impact the stairs. We definitely could pull this out one more block and have the railing on top of it. And I think that is probably what we do. I think that's the right answer.
Okay. Oh, that looks good.
Now, do we bring it all the way across? I think we bring it all the way across, right? Like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at least the top of the balcony, at least the top of the stairs needs to be covered.
Okay. Let's see. Do you want to do a dark railing or a different kind of railing?
I think a lighter railing might pop better, and so that might be good. Yeah.
We did the gate fence at the balcony. Do we want to do the gate here too?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Oak or birch?
Oak would tie in with the floor and staircase. Birch would tie in with the walls. I think we probably wanted to tie in with the staircase and stuff, so I think we want to do oak.
Okay, sounds good to me. If you need any of the dark oak stairs, I've got tons extra. I'm just putting in the large storage down here. So for the oak fence gate, it's telling me planks. Oh, I need planks. That's what I need. I got it. I'm figuring it out. Might be low on sticks, though.
You can make sticks out of planks if you need to.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. You can definitely trust me with this this particular task, Jeff.
You got this.
There's no problems at all. The end of the line here doesn't look right. Is there like a post? I mean, I could always just leave it one out, I guess. Or, ooh, I have an idea. If they don't make a post, maybe I could just put a block there. Alright. Tell me if that looks stupid or not. I think it looks good from down here.
Yeah, I like it. So you can use a fence if you want a post at the end.
Oh, that makes sense.
I've got one here. Let me slap that on and see what we think.
Yeah, that looks better.
Do we want a fence on the far side as well to kind of
match it?
Match it, or do we? Okay, let's see how that looks and see if we like it.
I think it looks the same.
It's
actually,
pretty close,
yeah.
I think I might actually like it better.
As a gate?
As a gate.
Yeah, I think it looks better as a gate, actually. So there we go. Hey, we've done lots of little projects. Oh, this is gonna be so neat. I know it's not intuitive, but this is cool. Are we gonna put like windows up here or no?
I absolutely think the tower needs windows. Yes.
Okay.
A little bit of view, a little bit of light coming in, and then we'll and then in this little back section there's a little bit of room for like putting storage or whatever. We can do whatever we want with it.
Yeah. Gonna have some of our extra stuff up here, and then down here we'll have like the library area.
Yeah.
Hey, we accomplished the roof job.
We did. Now I think we need to finish some of the ceiling in here somehow. I'm thinking, because we probably don't want it so that. I don't know. It might actually be okay. I think all we need to do really is just line the ceiling with stairs or something to smooth it out a little bit.
Okay. I'm good with that. So we just like throw the stairs underneath them?
Yeah, like
that?
Yeah, like that. Just we'll need to make some temporary ramps and stuff to get up there, but
When does your cookbook arrive for tasting history with Max Miller?
Oh, I've got it.
What? Already?
Yeah, I ordered it a while back, and I've been looking through it. I have not made anything from it yet, but I am very excited to. There's a lot of really cool things in there.
Yeah. That looks really good. Well, we'll have to pick out some recipes. I know we're not planning on doing a whole ton of in-game sessions. Or in-person sessions, but we'll get there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And also Christine's birthday party, Christine and Cody's birthday party, is coming up, so...
Yeah. And I gotta bring stuff for that regardless, so...
Yeah. Mind as well. There, I think we've done a pretty good job. It's not quite the view from the tower. Oh, I guess the side-to-side view is pretty nice. But, I like that it's up here. Let's go see what it looks like from outside.
Yeah, take a look at the outside view. I think I'm gonna raise up the stone by 1, because I think it'll look a little bit better if the wood goes a little higher and the stone isn't quite so visible from the floor.
That's probably a good call. Okay, well, alright. I think I need to get some more distance. I'm not sure if from the angle looking up at that manor... Okay, you can't see the tower initially, which is kind of funny. So it's going to be a little more of an Easter egg surprise. I think if we'd gone with a flatter roof, we'd be able to see the tower. But you can't really see it from a distance. But then the funny thing is, I think going inside, it's going to be a nice... have a good visibility when you get to the second story, and you're like, what the heck? What's that? But then it's cool, because there's a whole nother section.
And if you come out a fair ways away and look at it from like the side or something, you definitely can see the tower. You do have to be a farther way to get a view of it. Up close to the house, you absolutely won't see it. And we could make it taller if we so wanted. But
I'm good with it currently. Oh, from the back you can see it. Oh.
Yeah, it'll be pretty invisible from the front, I think. But that's okay.
Sorry, we didn't exactly build a symmetrical house.
No, we didn't.
That's fine. It's quirky. There's nothing wrong with quirky.
There's nothing wrong with quirky. I might line up the balcony door with the house, though, like the roof.
It won't line up with the door underneath it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeff, I think you might want to leave it where it is.
Leave it where it is? Okay.
It's gonna look weirder having it line up with the roof and then not line up with the entrance. Think about like a chimney, right? Like if you have a fireplace and a chimney that goes through multiple floors, that should be in the same place. No matter like how it's built around it. Then I just think we just have to accept that our house is a little lopsided. I don't suppose we could build a fireplace.
Yeah, we probably could.
Yeah, we can have like a fireplace.
I mean, yeah, we could use like a campfire to be the fire, the burning fire in it, and like build the thing out of stone, so it looks like or if we wanted to get crazy, there's actually brick in the game you can get. I don't know where we'd find enough clay, but
can it be against this wall?
Sure.
Like, and go through the first and second floors, like have a hearth in each, maybe? Like if we build it down here, and then it go up.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Okay. So that will be a project. For now, I'm going to add a sign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we could tackle that some other day. Do you want to... I know our initial plan would be to tackle the enchanting thing as well today, or do we want to save that for the next episode?
If you so we won't be able to do a lot of the enchanting today, because mostly what we need for the enchanting is a whole lot of grinding. But if you'd like, I can walk you through the very basics of how it works, but I won't have a way of showing you an example is the only problem.
Okay, let's just hold off on it then we can make that a full... next we do want to do the grinding, right? Yeah, give me a crash course on enchanting, and then we'll just have to make a full episode of it some other time, I think.
Okay, come with me to the village. In fact, let's just do it right here. So the very, very basics are... In the center of, you'd have your enchanting table. The table is a specific object in Minecraft. It's a specific block that when you use it, it lets you put enchants on your gear and stuff. In order to work, it has to have, you could use it just as is, but it will only do level 1 basic enchants. If you then surround it with bookshelves, like in a ring, kind of something of that nature, and then basically if you have 15 bookshelves around it with a 1 block space, each bookshelf adds a little bit of power to the enchanting table, and if you have 15, you'll unlock the highest level of enchants, the 3rd level of enchants, and you'll be able to do any enchant in the game. When you enchant something, it's random, so you may have to take the enchant off the item if it's not what you want, or you may have to figure out how to get another enchant on it. There are, you can use an anvil to combine items, to, combine their enchantments, that kind of stuff. But the main catch to the whole thing is 15 bookshelves is a lot of bookshelves, and bookshelves are fairly expensive to make. They take a lot of leather and a lot of paper, which you get from sugarcane.
Oh, I don't know how to get sugarcane. Also, how do you make an enchanting block? What's that require?
So that requires a little bit of obsidian, which is what you get when you pour water on lava. So we need to find, and you had asked about, finding more lava. We need to find some more lava.
Okay.
And then otherwise it takes 1 or 2 diamonds, I can never remember, and I think that's mostly it. It's mostly the obsidian and the diamonds that it really costs. I don't remember exactly what the recipe is, but it's mostly the obsidian and the diamonds.
Okay, so we gotta... so I think then what our next step in the world of finishing our house is we gotta go find more lava to get the obsidian to make the enchanting block, right?
Yeah, and you can find lava underground. It's actually, if we dig all the way down to the lowest levels of the world, you will run into lava fairly frequently digging around down there. So
can we do that?
We absolutely can, and we should, because down in those lower sections is also where the most diamonds are. And diamonds are the next step in upgrading your gear as well, because you can make diamond armor and diamond tools, all of which is better and lasts longer. Much longer.
Okay. I think I did steal one from you. I stole a diamond sword.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. And then what would probably... We have the mine that we started over here.
Yep.
On this side, I think?
Yep, you just kind of loop around because of the staircase.
Okay, so maybe this will be our journey to the center of the world mine?
Yeah, and basically, I don't have enough pickaxes to do it right now, but basically,
that's okay.
It goes a little deep. It goes pretty deep. It's not that deep relatively, because the bottom of the world is very, very low. So we come down here and then, probably just, do another, maybe double back and, dig this way. Because this level is the perfect level for finding iron. So if you ever want to just mine and you need iron, this is the, Y16 is the height of the world at which, apparently, iron is the most common, with the exception of mountains. But we don't have a mountain, so...
Okay. But Stone has claimed a mountain somewhere, so someday we'll go explore and find it. Oh, yep. Hey, but that gives us a thing to do. We can, prepare for a journey and go in search of... I guess we're gonna dig for lava, but, other things, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't have yet. So, sugarcane we do have. It's what you thought of as bamboo.
How do you get sugarcane? Okay. Oh,
you
it's
can
not
grow
bamboo.
Well, there is actually bamboo in the game, so
Okay.
that is a thing. But yes, that particular stuff was sugarcane, and you can grow it by water. And basically, it'll grow 3 blocks high, and you just cut it off at the one above the bottom, so that it still has one growing, and it'll just continuously replenish the 2 blocks above it, and just keep growing up. And so you just keep cutting it back, and then collecting it.
Okay.
But we need to
So
grow
we
it by
gotta
water.
start a sugarcane area somewhere?
Yeah. So let's find where the sugarcane got put. I suspect it's in your chest.
Probably. I know I'm
yes.
so usually more of an organized person, but I've been very hodgepodge with all the storage right now because I just don't have my system in mind quite yet.
That's fair. So I grabbed the sugarcane, and then for now, because it doesn't super matter what we do with it, we can just kind of plant it along the road, the waterway here.
Okay, it can
and
grow
it'll
in
start growing
sand,
up. It can grow in sand or dirt.
and the villagers won't take it from us?
No, this is not one of the kinds of crops they harvest, so they'll ignore it.
Okay. So then you said leave the base one down and just harvest the 2 above it.
Yep, it'll
When they
grow
grow.
up, and they'll just stack on top of each other, and you just leave that bottom level up, because then it'll just keep regrowing forever. And you can just keep harvesting. And then for the leather, we of course have cows, and I have been slowly working on breeding and slaughtering cows. They also get a lot of steak this way. They're a little overcrowded. I need to get a bigger pen. So, probably in the intervening periods.
Our chickens are gone.
I could tell you exactly what probably happened. Cats.
What?
I bet a cat spawned inside it.
Oh.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh
yeah.
no, Jeff! Oh no, what have you done?
I bet a cat spawned inside the thing and had its way with the chickens. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. So that's something else to add to our project list.
Yep.
Oh, cat.
Well, chickens will spawn around the area, so they should be pretty easy
They
to
will.
recover.
They will.
I have a singular egg. We might be able to get a chicken out of it.
There was one that followed us down into the mines. And
Yeah, I
I've
saw
seen there were 2 over. There's usually 1 or 2 over here. There's 2 on this boat because they like to sit on the boat for some reason.
Oh yeah, and once a animal or villager or whatever has sat in a boat, they won't leave it. Like, they don't have any way to leave it. You actually have to break the boat if you want them out of it. So we can actually use that. And the other thing is they won't despawn. So those chickens are permanent until we break the boat. And so we can leave me alone. We can bring them back when we're ready. And I think what we do is we set up a cat-proof chicken coop, maybe like a tower or something that isn't dirt, so the cat shouldn't spawn in it, and is
maybe a
something they
barn or
can't get in.
something?
Yeah, like a barn, a chicken coop made out of wood or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
That's a good idea.
one of the things we wanted to do is kind of pretty up the village and rebuild a lot of it to make it more to our style and stuff. So that can be one of the first projects, is some barns and pens and stuff for the animals that aren't just ugly fences.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, we should probably sleep. We've got 80,000 phantoms up there.
Okay. Oh, do they just keep multiplying?
Yeah, it's based on how long you go without sleeping, and I don't know if it's every night you go you get another phantom after the first 3, but it's something like that. They'll just keep making more.
Oh, hilarious. Okay. Alright. So we did the big thing. We did the roof today. You gave me the crash course on enchanting. We're gonna have to find obsidian, so we're gonna need lava. Then if we do find lava, that solves my other problem. So if you don't have lava to throw stuff into, what do you do with the stuff that's just junk that's extra?
So,
Like,
one thing you can do, like for example, if you've got a bunch of rotten flesh and you just don't have a use for it, you can just throw it on the ground. After 5 minutes, it will despawn.
okay.
If you're playing in a very populated server with a lot of people, that can be a little discourteous because the more objects on the ground like that, the more it can cause lag. But
Okay.
in order to be something you notice, it would have to be quite a lot. And so the two of us, basically, we'd have to go out of our way and really try to lag the server if we wanted to destroy things. That would be fine. You can just dump it on the ground. I do think making a couple trash cans in strategic positions would be good, because lag or no, throwing things on the ground has the drawback that when you're running around mindlessly like I am, you sometimes pick it back up, and that's annoying. So yeah, we'll get some lava and make some trash cans, and we can also use the lava for smelting, which can be really nice because one of the things I'd like to do is I find cobblestone's texture, especially if it's all just a wall of cobblestone, to be a little obnoxious, a little bit too busy and a little ugly. So what I'm going to look to do is, if you melt stone in a furnace, you can get it to come out as, if you melt cobblestone in a furnace, you can make it to come out as stone. So like when you're looking at the mine, the stone that makes up the walls that you dig and it becomes cobblestone, you can actually turn it back into that stone and have it that smooth kind of finish.
I like that idea a lot.
And then what we might do with the tower is replace some of the cobblestone with that smooth stone to make it have a textured appearance still, so it looks like, you know, it gives the idea that, yeah, it's still made out of like cobblestone and brick and stuff, but it's a little bit more, it's a little less all the same texture, because that's the big problem with Minecraft, making things pretty, is since things like dirt or cobblestone or whatever, they all have the same texture, so if you use all the same block, it gets very, well, samey. I'm saying same a lot. But it gets very repetitive. So mixing up blocks together to create the illusion that there's it's still made out of these materials, but it's more textured and interesting than just a single smooth block. And it's something I'm still learning. I am not an expert at this texturing technique, but I figure we can practice, and I can practice, we can get better at it, and that would be good.
We can practice, and then at some point maybe we just have Stone come in and put his artist eye on things.
Yeah. And the other nice thing about smelting the the cobblestone into stone is you can also make stone bricks, which are very castle-y looking stone bricks. They're very good. I love the stone brick texture. And we can use that in the tower as well, and they're just very nice materials to have.
Hey Jeff, I have learned a thing. Remember the first day when I was scared of this? I'm now utilizing it to my benefit.
Growth.
You taught me something. Come in. Stay. Oh, good job. One back.
Good
Right.
chicken. Have I shown you or taught you how breeding works in Minecraft?
You taught me about feeding people. That dude was jumping up and down. What's going on in there? What do they use a barrel for?
Barrels can be used for storage, so it's basically a single chest.
Okay.
And in the case of villagers, different villagers have different professions, and their profession is chosen by different blocks. So this composter here, you can put organic material into it over by the farm. You can put organic material into it, like these seeds, like plant organic, not animal organic. And, it will slowly. It basically, there's a small chance it'll increase the level, and you can kind of see there's some dirt at the bottom. And when the dirt gets all the way filled up, it'll turn into bone meal, which you can use to grow more plants faster. Like if you use bone meal on one of these ungrown plants, it'll grow partially or even fully if you're lucky. So you can make bone meal that way out of like extra seeds and stuff, which once you've got a big farm going, you'll end up with like dozens of extra seeds you just don't need. So you can compost them.
Okay, nice.
And that block is what makes farmers. So if you have composters, villagers will turn into farmers, and that, and then they'll do the farming thing. You can trade with them if you interact with them.
Is this hat what signifies a farmer, like the straw hat?
Yep, the straw hat signifies the farmer. The guy who is in this house is a fisherman with his little hat and his overalls and stuff like that.
He also has a straw hat. Not a straw hat.
It's a little different of a hat, but it's similar. Most
kind
of
of
the
looks
others
like he's got a fish on his belt, maybe? Or...
Yeah, that's kind of how I read it. And barrels make fishermen, and because barrels are such a cool-looking block, you end up with a lot of extra fishermen you probably don't want because they're so. I love barrels.
Is this little water thing meant to imply it's like a fishery?
I think so, yes, because.
But can you actually fish in it?
You can. One of the things about fishing, though, is if the water is shallow and near shore like this, like a little tiny pond, the stuff you can get out of it is a lot more limited. It's better to fish in a bigger open river or something like that.
Okay.
Or an ocean. So yeah, there's a bunch of different job blocks that can create different kinds of villagers. Like you can see, we've got some
what are
masons.
These guys?
Yeah,
masons?
So these are masons, which means we've got stone cutters somewhere. Yeah, there's a stone cutter in here. And this is actually a very useful block. Most of the job blocks of villagers have a use.
Oh, so what does the stone cutter do?
You can use the stone cutter and place cobblestone in it, and it will it'll open up a little menu for crafting where you can make cobblestone stairs and slabs, and it's just a little bit of an easier way of a little bit of a quick way of making things like that. But the key is, normally when you make a set of stairs, it costs 6 cobblestone and you get 4 stairs. If you go to the stone cutter and put 6 cobblestone in, it will make you 6 stairs. So it'll actually save you stone.
Oh, okay. That can be nice. Not that we're shy on stone. And there's this one guy out here who showed up one day and got, I pushed him away from shore and he's just been sitting there. Who is this guy?
This guy looks like he's another farmer.
Okay.
Yeah. Just another farmer, I guess.
Okay. Can he get back?
Once they're in a boat, they won't leave the boat on their own, but we can break the boat, and then he'll come in, and then you can pick the boat back up and put it back down. So, I will free him, and then replace the boat. I don't have an axe, so this is going to take a little while. There we go. And now he is free to swim back to shore, and I can put the boat back at the dock.
There, I have acquired us another chicken.
Cool. If you use the seeds on them, you can breed them and get a baby chicken. Get our numbers up.
There we go.
Yep. And that's the basics of breeding. You just use the food that particular animal likes. Chickens like seeds.
Jeff, what does a horse like carrots? I made an assumption.
A horse likes golden carrots. I don't remember if they'll be lured by carrots or by regular carrots. They might be lured by regular carrots.
I don't know. I saw a horse on this island that's far out one time, but I couldn't get back to it fast enough. Okay, how do you get a golden carrot?
So you can make it by combining a carrot and some, I think, gold nuggets. They might be Yeah, I think they're gold nuggets. But for a horse, what you will want to do actually, you can also lure horses. I think you can lure them with hay bales, which we've got scattered around. But the thing about horses is if you have a saddle, and in the fishing chest out by the ocean, we do have a saddle. You can get on the horse, and then it'll probably buck you off at first. But if you keep getting on the horse, you'll eventually tame it. And that's how you tame it to be domesticated. And then when you're riding it, you can open your inventory, and it'll have a little inventory slot where you can put horse armor on it and a saddle. And if you have a saddle on the horse, you can then control it and ride it. You do need a saddle to control it, though. Otherwise, it'll just wander around aimlessly.
Okay.
But we do have a saddle, so if you see a horse, run and grab the saddle from this chest, or just carry it with you. That's also fine.
Oh, I think I have another... we had 2 saddles, I think. I can't remember where I put the other one.
Okay.
I'll find it eventually. I'll have to start organizing at some point, but I hadn't been worried about it just yet.
Yeah. Well, we also want to set up our storage room in the house so that it can be organized, because right now we're just kind of haphazard, spread all over the village.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. We're about the 2-hour mark now. Do you want to clock it for today?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I think this was a really productive one, actually.
Yeah, we got a lot done. We got to talk a lot. It was good.
Looks like we've run out of materials for today.
So that wraps it up for now.
Thanks for playing along.